Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and today I want to talk about allied races because this has been a pretty controversial topic for something that's supposed to be a big feature and fun thing about the next World of Warcraft expansion, which is going to be going into alpha or beta soon. Well, I think it's in the alpha already. It's either gonna like launch the beta soon or they're gonna invite more people to the alpha soon. Something's gonna happen. But as of right now, if you pre-ordered BFA, you will get access to the new allied races. And a lot of people are excited. They're like, oh yes, this is going to be awesome. And then there's been a lot of backlash because you have to unlock these races. And I actually didn't know this either. I went into it being like, oh, alright, so I'll probably do like a little quest line and they'll be like, these are the High Mountain Tauren. Welcome. And then you make a High Mountain Tauren or something, right? But you actually have to farm rep with that faction up to Exalted, and then you're able to create one in addition to doing things like the little quest where you're introduced to them and they're like, welcome to the Horde and all that type of stuff, right? So I'm kind of mixed on this. I can see why they're doing it. They're trying to make it so not everybody is making these new races. Like right away, they're trying to add a little. They're trying to add some sort of not even uniqueness, but just a feeling of fulfillment when you acquire this race, right? So it's not just like, oh, I got it. They're being like, hey, you know, get exalted with this faction, learn about this allied race, and then you can create one. But at the same time, you know, you feel like I'm buying this new expansion. I feel like I should be able to make this allied race right away, right? I want to make a High Mountain Tauren. I paid for the thing. Why can't I make one yet? And they're like, well, you got to go grind it out. So you have this argument happening right now, right? Between the people who are like, come on, you babies, go grind out the rep. What are you, idiot? And then the people being like, I paid for it, and I want to make a thing, and I'll make my Void Elf. And it's just a big shouting match on forums and on comment sections and all that. So I wanted to ask everybody what your opinion is on this. Words are hard. Because here's what I think. I think that going to Exalted for a lot of the factions is a little much. I think at some point they're going to wipe that out. I think they're going to say, you know what? Like maybe when the expansion launches, they'll be like, hey, you don't got to be exalted anymore. You can just do a little quest and now you can make one. I think that's very possible for what's going to happen. I think they're just doing this for the early release of like, hey, you pre-ordered it. Expansion isn't quite here yet. But if you do this prerequisite, then you'll be able to play whatever you want to play. And I don't mind that. I think it's all right. As long as when the actual expansion hits, you don't have to go back to like Legion and then farm rep to play a feature of the new expansion. That's where I'd have somewhat of a problem, but I'm not completely like, oh my god, this is an outrage. I honestly don't even care that much about the allied races, to be honest. Like, I think they're cool. I think it's really good for people to want to level alts, but I have no urge to really play an allied race. Like, I'm like, I guess I'll get my High Mountain rep up and make a High Mountain Tauren, because I think the High Mountain Tauren are pretty cool, but are they cool enough for me to be like, all right, I'm revered right now with the High Mountain people in reputation, but do I care enough to just continuously do High Mountain rep every day just so I can level a High Mountain Tauren alt? Probably not, like being completely honest, because I already have the classes I want to play. Unless I'm able to race change to a High Mountain Tauren. Like, if I can change my Tauren Druid to a High Mountain Tauren, I'd be up for that, which I think they're going to allow I think I read once you unlock the race you want to play, you can race change to that race. Which, of course, you got to pay money for, so it's like, all right. I actually would have preferred if they gave you a race change this expansion instead of a boost a person to 110. Because, I mean, I had my Druid who was 100, and I was like, honestly, I'd rather have a race change to change him to 110, or like level him up to 110 on my own and then race change to a high mountain Tarn. I would have much preferred that. But what are you gonna do? But I wanted to talk about what you think they're going to do in the future as well, because a lot of these allied races, they have new racials, but a lot of the racials, you know, they're your typical racials, like your fishing is better, you 1% increase damage with spells, you know, because they can't be crazy, otherwise everyone's gonna go make those races and only play those races, which is part of the problem with all this. So to me, the races are more about the aesthetic of the race more than the actual racials, because that's what I think. And so some people are mad because they're like, oh, for example, the Light Forged race, a lot of people are saying, oh, it looks really bad. It's like a reskin. They're not that great. They have a blacksmithing hammer. You can only use at specific times, like stuff like that. Which I think I got a point there. And then some of the races I think are really cool. I still like High Mountain Tarn, even though some people are like, it's just a moose instead of a deer or whatever. But like, I think they look cool. But there's apparently more allied races coming down the line. A lot of people said they leaked orcs. That's something I've been hearing. It's like BlizzCon or something. They showed off orcs or something. So there's obviously going to be more allied races. But my big question is if they're going to do some sort of neutral allied race in the future. So this is what I would like to have happen. People have been wanting different races for a long time. They've been like, Blizzard, give us Naga, give us Tuskar, give us, whatever. I think it's actually plausible with all these allied race things coming in. I think it'd be crazy if Blizzard were to be like, all right, guys, we've got a new set of races for you, and it's like Naga, Tuskar, Ogres, and Murlocs, and you have to go do quests for them to unlock their quest chain. Maybe they're neutral, and you convince them to join whatever side you're on. You're like, hey, come to the Horde, and then the Ogres are like, hey, okay. Or you convince them to go Alliance, kind of like Pandaren. Very similar to Pandaren. I think that'd be really cool. I guess the whole problem with it is you would have to make all of those races playable. You know what I mean? Like, Tauren are already a playable race. Like, you can make a Tauren, they can do all the thing a normal character can do, and that's that. While a lot more resources would have to go into making, say, a Tuskar or a Murloc an actual playable race, because you have combat animations that they don't normally have. They have various animations they don't normally have, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So as much as I would like that to happen, I don't think it would happen. But I think allied races just gave me the hope that it might happen. You know what I mean? It showed me like, hey, maybe they are open to doing something with a little more diversity with their races in the game. Because as much fun as orcs and trolls and all that is, it's cool to actually see different types of races being playable. And that's why I think I would enjoy things like ogres and whatever. But that's why I think in the past they've been like, hey, the Pandaren are the new race of the expansion. And it's because a lot of their resources went into Pandaren specifically. So I think if they did something like this, it would be, I don't think it would be multiple races, unless that was just a big feature of whatever expansion was being announced. So yeah, I'm curious, just what are your thoughts on all this? My thoughts. What are your thoughts on what I just talked about? The whole, like, neutral races being a thing. I thought that'd be pretty cool, obviously, or I wouldn't bring it up. But, I don't know. Allied races are alright. That's what it boils down to is, I think allied races are alright. I'm not super excited about them, but I don't hate them. And I'll probably race change to them. I don't think I want to level again. I don't want to level an alt all the way again. I'm struggling enough in my WoW leveling series to get through Northrend. And now they made it even harder. So I'm like, well, this is going to take twice as long. But either way, leave your comments in the comments section below. And I'll see you next time. Okay. Okay. See ya.